Welcome back, dear viewers. You're still watching Nile Cruise on Nile TV International. This very special episode, we're bringing you for the 51st session of the Cairo International Book Fair. And for this segment, we're most delighted to be joined by Dr. Ahmed Farrag. He's a journalist and academic researcher to tell us more about his insight about the 51st session of the Cairo International Book Fair. First of all, thank you so much, sir, for joining us on Nile Cruise.
Thank you, sir. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
Thank
First
you.
of all, I would like to thank the teamwork of Nile TV channel for hosting me in this distinguished episode about the Cairo International Book Fair.
Thank you very much again, Doctor. It's a very special episode indeed. We are about to witness the closing of this 51st session of the Cairo International Book Fair, and indeed it is one of the most important, if not the only Arab book fair or international book fair in the Arab world that is that popular. What is the significance of it this year in particular?
Actually, the fair is a very important cultural event in Egypt here, and the importance of the fair stems from several facts. First, the show brings together many stakeholders related to the book industry. We find the publishers, the authors, the writers, the retailers, the distributors, and other people who are interested in books and culture. Actually, the fair plays a key important role in social, culture, and political life in Egypt. And this year, the fair has been launched under the slogan "the fair reflects the cultural diversity of Egypt." The slogan is "Egypt, Africa, the cultural diversity," because Egypt would like to convey a message and would like to stress that it's a very leading country in relating to the culture and related to the other events here in the region. That's it.
Yes. Doctor, also, if we can shed more light on the significance of choosing this slogan, as you have kindly noted, Egypt, Africa, the culture of diversity. And as you know, also this coincides with the presidency of Egypt over the African Union.
Actually, the cultural diversity reflects the rich Egyptian heritage. As we know, the Egyptian heritage gets back to more than 7,000 years. I mean the Pharaonic civilization and the Coptic heritage and Islamic heritage. So Egypt is a unique country in terms of the diversification of its culture. Because every age Egypt has undergone had its own characteristics related to the culture. We can find that in the Pharaonic heritage and the Coptic heritage and the Islamic heritage. So actually this reflects the diversification of culture, and the slogan actually says Egypt, Africa. Egypt would like to emphasize, would like to stress its African affiliation. As we know, now Egypt is assuming the chairmanship of the African Union under the presidency of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, and Egypt pays more attention to strengthening and cementing its economic, political, commercial relations with the African states in all fields. So when we choose this slogan, we would like to be proud of our African affiliation, and we are inviting the African countries to cooperate with Egypt for the best of the interest of all the African nations, actually. That's it.
Yes, Doctor. This book fair is also an opportunity for the young writers and the beginners, the young authors to come and market their work, to get to be known, and for whether it's for people, the general public, to discover them and their talents and their work, or publishing houses that would support them later on. This year we have seen a lot of signings for many young authors, unlike the previous years. What does this indicate about this field in particular?
Actually, the fair is a golden opportunity for beginner writers to demonstrate their work, because as you know, being an author without publishing your work is nothing, is useless. And sometimes to get a place to display your book is not easy. It's difficult due to the publishing restrictions. Sometimes it may be due to the high cost of publishing a certain work, or something like that. But the fair gives an opportunity to rising writers and beginner writers to present their work, because due to due to gathering all the stakeholders related to the book industry, as I have mentioned, the publishers, the distributors, the literate. So actually it's a good opportunity to seal a deal with a certain publishing house to publish the work of the beginner writer. I think during the fair it will be easy for him to communicate with several publishing houses and negotiate on the terms of publishing, and could easily close a deal at the end. So actually it's a good opportunity for not only the professional writers and authors, but also for the beginner writers.
Speaking also about the professional authors and writers, Dr. Ahmed, don't you think that it's also a good opportunity for them not just to market and sell their books and writings, but also to exchange views and bridge the gap between cultures of other participating authors from across the globe?
Actually, the professional writers can benefit from the fair in terms of gaining a new fan base. Being a professional writer needs to secure lots of fans and lots of readership who are interested in your work. So, for example, during the fair, there are signature events and seminars and workshops during which any author can have a meeting with his audience and his fans, and even sometimes he give more clarification about, especially in literary works, he or she gives more clarification and about a certain work, because sometimes the human experience plays a major role in formulating a certain literary work. So sometimes the writer or the author talks about his own experience related to a certain issue that he has tackled in the work he's offering. That's it.
Speaking of culture, Doctor, we have also noticed a really large number of people from the general public, different age groups, and I'm very impressed to see the younger generations taking part and ensuring to come and participate in this international book fair. It was also very impressive, Kareem, to see even kindergarten children coming along, you know, very young even, to understand the importance of this, but engaging them, and for us to start bringing back again into our culture the concept of reading and the importance of learning and enhancing our knowledge. And it's not just about school education, but about the greater experience of life. How do you see the increasing numbers of people and visitors to this year's session?
Actually, it stems from the importance of the fair. The fair, as I mentioned, plays a major role in culture and social life in Egypt. Let's focus on establishing the reading habit among not only the young people, but also among adults. The increasing number of visitors here reflect the cultural awareness of the Egyptian people, and that they are interested in being acquainted with the latest culture and social trends in the world, because as we know, there are international publishing houses here, and there are works introduced in our native language, I mean the Arabic language, and the other foreign languages, for example, like the Italian, the French, the English. So the fair addresses the fair meets all the needs of the readers to be able to pick what suits their preferences, actually.
Another aspect that we'd like to bring up, Dr. Ahmed, is the participation of Al-Azhar in this book fair. They're heavily present. If you can tell us about the importance of Al-Azhar's participation in such a great and important event.
Well, actually this year the participation of Al-Azhar al-Sharif is very, very important. Because it comes amid holding the international conference on renewing the Islamic thought. So Al-Azhar would like to convey a message to Muslims here in Egypt and the rest of the Islamic world, that they should receive the Islamic ideas, or the correct Islamic ideas and the correct religious opinions from Al-Azhar establishment as a leading institution in the Islamic world. And also Al-Azhar would like to make the people get acquainted about its efforts related to reforming the religious discourse, and it invites them to have the Al-Azhar publication about the Islamic issues which are of interest for them, because as we know, Al-Azhar's main aim nowadays is fighting the extremist and terrorist thought, not only among the young people, but among all the classes of society.
Yes, Dr. Ahmed Farrag, journalist and academic researcher, thank you very much for joining us here on Nile Cruise from Al Manara Convention Center at the 51st Cairo International Book Fair.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your insight, and thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And dear viewers, now we move on to a short break, and then we'll be back to resume the remaining segments of Nile Cruise only on Nile TV International.